पक्षे प्रहलादेनोदितं पुरा सर्वरक्षाकरं पुण्यं सर्वोपद्रवनाशनम् सर्वसम्पत्करं चैव स्वर्गमोक्षप्रदायकम् ध्यात्वा नृसिंहं देवेशं हेमसिंहासनस्थितम् विवृतास्यं त्रिनयनं शरदिन्दुसमप्रभम् लक्ष्म्यालिङ्गितवामाङ्गं विभूतिभिरुपाश्रितम् चतुर्भुजं कोमलाङ्गं स्वर्णकुण्डलशोभितम् श्रिया सुशोभितो रस्कं रत्नकेयूरमुद्रितम् तप्तकाञ्चन सङ्काशं पीतनिर्मलवाससम् इन्द्रादिपुरमौलिस्तस्फुरन्माणिक्यदीप्तिभिः विराजितपरद्वन्द्वं शङ्खचक्रादिहेतिभिः गरुत्मता च विनया स्तूयमानं मुदान्वितम् स्वहृत्कमलसंवासं कृत्वा तु कवचं पठेत् नृसिंहो मे चिरः पातु लोकरक्षासम्भवः सर्वगोपीस्तम्भवासः पालनमेव नृसिंहो मे दृशो पातु सोमस्तिः कृतिं मे पातु हरिर्निवज्जातु दिप्रियः नासा मे सिंहनाथस्तु मुखं लक्ष्मीमुखप्रियः सर्वविद्याधिपः पादो नृसिंहो रसना मम वक्त्रं पाद्बिन्दुवदनः सदा नमस्तितः नृसिंहः पातु मे कण्ठं सन्धौ भूभरणात् दिव्यास्त्रशोभितभुजो नृसिंहः पातु मे भुजौ करौ मे देववरदो नृसिंहः पातु सर्वतः हृदयं योगिसाध्यश्च निवासं पातु मे देहि मध्यं पातु हिरण्याक्ष वक्षः कुक्षीधारणः नाभिं मे पातु हरिः स्वनाभि ब्रह्मसंस्कृतः ब्रह्माण्डकोटयः कट्यां यस्यासौ पातु मे कटिम् पूज्यं मे पातु पूज्यानां मन्त्राणां गुरुभद्रो गुरो मनोभवः पातु जानुर्नररूपधृ जङ्घे पातु धराभारा हस्तायोऽसौ त्रिकेसरी सुरराज्यप्रदः पातु हरीश्वरः सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः पातु मे सर्वशस्तनम् महोग्रः पूर्वतः पातु महावीराग्रजोन्मितः महाविष्णुर्दक्षिणे तु महाज्वालस्तु नैऋतौ पश्चिमे पातु सर्वेशो दिशि मे सर्वतोमुखः नृसिंहः पातु वायव्यां सौम्यां भीषणविग्रहः ईशान्यां पातु भद्रो मे सर्वमङ्गलदायकः
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to His confounder Charashla Prabhupada.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Welcome Maharaj.
Thank you. Jai Please confirm the charity to the Guru. Sri Bhakti Swami Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnu Path Param Srila Bhakti Vedanta Saraswati Thakur Charity. Naran Puri Vaishnav Namaskar. Srila Haridas Thakur. Prem Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Pavanityanam. Sri Advaita Gadadara Siva Sari Gaura Bhakti Kiya. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Shama Radha Kunna Giri Guru Vrindavan Kiya. Now I do my freedom. Jagannath Puri Ram Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Ganges River Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Maveta Bhakta Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Pranam. Glory to somebody. Glory to somebody. Glory to somebody. Glory to Shishiguru Sri Gauranga. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Prachodayam Dhira Namaskarai Swabhadresu Nityam Bhagavatasu Bhagavati Tamasvati Sri Bhagavati Nashti Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Shri Chaitanya Mano Krishna Savitandena Bhutale Swayam Pakadama Vedati Swami Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Bhagavatam Sri Gurun Vaishnava Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sadhina Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padma Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakam Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Yogi Sagopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Sapatantana Gurangi Radhe Brindavani Rishavana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Kanchakal Pataru Dasta Kripa Sandhivya Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. We just wanted to start the recording. Can BDD Swami Archives please be made the host so that he can start the recording now?
Hare Krishna Mataji, you have allowed, I've given permission for your recording.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. All right. Continue our discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. Chapter 8. Prayers by Kunti, or the teachings of Kunti. Today we'll begin from text 20. And before we go to 29, in 28 purport, the Prophet has said something which we need to. In the purport, the Prophet has the translation for 28 is, My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be the eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The distinction between living beings are due to the social needs. It is not just the doings of the Supreme Lord. or the demigod or anything else. It is just our own making. So the Prophet mentioned here in the Prophet, it is no use saying that we do not know why and for what we are suffering. We may forget the misdeed of which we may suffer at this present moment. But we must remember that Paramatma is our constant companion. And therefore, he knows everything, past, present, and future. So we should know why we are suffering. Just as we should know why we are enjoying. So we should know why we are suffering. We should know. No one should say, I don't know why I'm suffering from this. We should know why we are suffering. Because it is due to our own mistakes. It is not somebody responsible for anyone's enjoyment or suffering. Because we never hear anyone say that you caused my enjoyment. You're making me happy. This is my working. This is my merit. So Prabhupada said we should know why we are suffering. Text 29. Na bida kachin bhagavan tikiri sitam ave hamanasya nirnam vidam bana ayasya kachiri yajito stipe hari ichit yejwa chayasmin visama matiri nirma. Oh Lord, no one can understand your transcendental pastimes, which appear to be human. And so are misleading. You have no specific object of favor. So do you have any object of envy? People only imagine that you are partial. People only imagine that you are partial. Krishna does not have any object of affection. Doesn't. We have heard many times how Krishna does not have favorites. So Kunti Devi said, your activities, although transcendental, so parallel those humans that they mislead those who view them into thinking of you as an ordinary man. How can one easily understand how you, who exist eternally and are unborn, nevertheless take birth among animals, men, sages, and equities? Certainly, this is very bewildering. This is really bewildering. You are not born, you took birth. As also himself explaining, he's also explaining the sense of himself. He has no legs, but he runs faster than anyone, and even those who have legs cannot catch up with him. He has no hands, but he accepts all offerings from anyone at all times, in all places. He has no eyes, but he sees everyone and everything. How is that possible? Kunti Devi said, this is certainly bewildering. Really, this is bewildering. It is bewildering. No one can understand your transcendental pastimes. In other words, Kunti Devi is saying, Lord Krishna, no one knows your plan. No one knows your plan. No one knows your desire. And the fourth canto also will hear. We also hear the same thing. Not only Krishna, even Krishna's pure devotees. Prithu Maharaj, then nobody knows when he comes in. Nobody knows when he goes out. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what he's going to do next. So it's bewildering to see Lord Krishna do some things which ordinarily common people will be misled. Yes, they should be misled. They should be. Or no one knows the plan you desire to do, to play the role of human beings as Ram and Krishna. You do that. And a proper example in the book of Psalm. Krishna's pastimes appear to be exactly like a human being, but actually, they are transcendental and without any tinge of material contamination. He is undoubtedly known as partial to the pure devotees, but in fact, he is never partial. As much as the sun, he is never partial to anyone. The sun is there above everyone. The sun is there above everyone. The sun specifically stay above everyone, so that no one can think that the sun is not favorable. It's there, open, very open at all times. If someone decides to stay under a tree, is that the fault of the sun? No. By utilizing the sun rays, sometimes even the stone becomes valuable. Whereas a blind man cannot see the sun. Although there are enough sun rays before him, darkness and light are two opposite conceptions. But this does not mean that the sun is partial in distributing its rays. The sun rays are open to everyone, but the capacities of the receptacles differ. Just like we are hearing, not everyone will. Some will hear and some will not hear. Even what we hear, majority of it will not be properly understood. Foolish people think that devotional service is flattering the Lord to get special mercy. That is flattering. It is not flattering. Devotional service is not flattering. Devotional service for Christian consciousness is the most difficult thing one will ever do in life. The most difficult thing one will ever do in life. So if it is, how can something so difficult be flattery? Flattery is something which is cheap, not something which is difficult. So foolish people think like that. Or change the holiday will glorify, we speak about the glories of Krishna. It's not flattering. It is not flattering. It is a pure. A foolish person cannot glorify Lord Krishna. Only a fortunate one and very, very rare pure devotee can glorify Lord Krishna. So it's not a flattery. Actually, the pure devotees who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord are not a mercantile community. Mercantile house renders service to someone in exchange for values. The pure devotees do not render service unto the Lord for such exchange. And therefore, the full mercy of the Lord is open for him. Suffering men, needy men, inquisitive persons, or philosophers make a temporary connections with the Lord to serve as a particular purpose. When the purpose is served, there is no more relation with the Lord. That is not the mentality the devotees have. The mercy of the Lord is open for him, but he is reluctant to receive it. That is a difference between a pure devotee and a mixed devotee. Those who are completely against the service of the Lord are considered to be in abject darkness. Those who ask for the Lord's favor only at the time of necessity are partial recipients of the mercy of the Lord. And those who are 100% engaged in the service of the Lord are full recipients of the mercy of the Lord. Such partiality in receiving the Lord's mercy is relative to the recipient, and it is not due to the partiality of the all-merciful Lord. It is due to our input. If someone is making an investment, when you're making an investment, someone very experienced in making an investment, 10 million investment. And someone here is using 10,000. They are not going to have the same profit. Even both of them may be very experienced, but the person who is investing in 10 million is going to get more because of the amount of investment, what is intelligence, and the fortune that goes with it. He will get more than the person who is investing in 10,000. The quantity and the quality of the things will be different. Similarly, a devotee who is 100% surrendered to Krishna will have the Lord's mercy more than those who are 50% or less than 50%. And that cannot be said that the Lord is partial. Lord Krishna explained in Gita that he is equal to everyone. He is equal to all. He is equal to all. He never envy anyone. Never. He never envy anyone. So Kunti Devi is actually teaching us that the so-called partiality is due to social intercourse. It is not from the Lord. We are getting according to our input. Like in Christian consciousness, we are getting the result of whatever is our present situation in Christian consciousness, that is our input. Whatever situation we are in our Christian consciousness is a result of how much investment we are making in our Christian consciousness. If Krishna is to reward everybody equally, then he cannot be a perfect person. And that would be cheating. Just like if someone is employed in the company and is keeping to the time, resume 8 o'clock by 4 o'clock. And the person is resuming 8 o'clock, and working very nicely. And someone else is coming 12 o'clock and the closing 2 o'clock. If both of them are paid the same salary, that would be imperfection. That would be imperfection. And Christian is not like that. Christian pays according to how we worked. That is what the Christian said, and he perfectly does that. That is his nature, and that's what it is. So in Christian consciousness, no one can cheat anyone. We simply cheat ourselves. When the Lord descends on this material world by his all merciful energy, he plays like a human being. And therefore it appears that the Lord is partial to his devotees only, but that is not the fact. Despite such appearance, apparent manifestation of partiality, his mercy is equally distributed. If one is fortunate to have Bhagavad Gita, it is the same Bhagavad Gita you get everywhere in the world. The same Bhagavad Gita, not different. Not that he has given different Bhagavad Gita to this country, another Bhagavad Gita to that country, another Bhagavad Gita to this race or that tribe. It is the same Bhagavad Gita, the same Krishna, the same Bhagavad Gita. But we are going to understand it differently according to the level of our interest. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all persons who died in the fight before the presence of the Lord God's salvation without the necessary qualifications, because death before the presence of the Lord purifies a passing soul from the effect of all sins. And therefore, a dying man gets a place wherever, somewhere in the transcendental abode. Somehow or other, if someone put himself open in the sun rays, is sure to get the requisite benefit both by heat and by ultraviolet rays. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is never partial. It is wrong for the people in general to think of him as partial. He is never partial and he cannot be partial. Janma karma chadi shwadma adashya karatu atmana kiryan dirisi shuyada shu tad atyanta idambana. This is text 8. Of course, it is bewildering, O soul of the universe, that you work, though you are inactive, and that you take birth, although you are the vital fools and the unborn. You yourself descend amongst animals, men, sages, and aquatics. Verily, this is bewildering. This is bewildering. Understand the conclusions about your partiality or impartiality, your action or lack of action, your birth or lack of birth. One can relish your pastimes, that is for devotee. That's for devotee. Janma karma teme the bomb, even you be taught with the heart. That's for devotee. Location says activities are transcendental. His appearance is transcendental. And those who are fortunate to engage themselves in these activities get purified. They get purified. But those who are not devoted will not get purified. They're going to become offensive. Krishna has no hand, Krishna has no face, Krishna has no legs, Krishna has no form. Krishna doesn't have any form. Krishna is formless. Nirankara. Arupa. They will be offensive. But those who are very fortunate will enjoy. Yes, that is the Lord. Why should he have material form? He will have spiritual form. He will have spiritual form. And he has spiritual form. He should have spiritual form. The transcendental passings to the Lord are not only bewildering, but also apparently contradictory. That's the prophet's purpose. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of the human being. How can God, the Supreme God, descend as a hog? We know nobody like hog. Even though among those who eat flesh, people who even eat pork milk are considered low class. They are considered degraded people. They are not. They are untouchable. They are untouchable. They are untouchables. But the Supreme Lord appeared as Barahade, hog, or fish, Matsya. How can the Supreme Ram be banished to the forest for 14 years? And who has the power to banish the Lord? How is that the Supreme Personality of God that is someone has power over him? How is it the Supreme that someone else has power over him? He commanded you go to the forest and suffer for 14 years, and I stay in the palace and enjoy. Not only that, how can he who is unborn take birth in a prison cell? Not even in a house, in a prison. Lord Krishna appeared in the prison house of Kamsa. How can the Pandavas, Krishna's dearest friend, dear friends, confidential friends, eternal associates, undergo continuous tribulations? And Krishna himself go to the forest and visit them. He doesn't have power to say no to this. How can God steal butter and feed it to monkeys? And Krishna is very proud of being a thief. He is very proud of that. No, nobody likes thieves. Nobody likes this. You know the noble profession. You're not a noble profession. You're not the profession that is appreciative, even by the thieves themselves. Nobody likes a thief. But Lord Krishna is very happy. And Krishna told Mother Yashoda, my dear mother, you know this is a profession of stealing. I'm very, very experienced, and I'm very experienced in it. Nobody can defeat me in it. Nobody. I'm very experienced. He's advertising himself, being a thief. A thief, not really a thief will not they say it's a thief, even if he's caught, he'll deny, no, I didn't say it. I've never done that before. I don't know what that. But Lord Krishna said, I'm a thief. I'm a thief. And I like this profession. One act motivated by the desire to self-satisfaction. Why then does he act? He is not impelled by anything outside himself, as no such things exist. Why does he even descend to this world? Why does Krishna descend to this world? Kamala Prabhu. Why?
What does what? Maharaj?
Why is Krishna to come to this world full of sin and sinful, so sinful world? Why should the Supreme God come here? To do what? His spiritual world cannot contain him again. He has to come here. Why must he come here? Why he should come here? Yes, I'm hearing you. Tell me.
It comes to show his pastimes, Maharaj.
Come on, still here. Is that what he's supposed to come and do here? We run away with girls and people's wife. Is it not? Isn't what he was doing here? What else? Run around with the women throughout the whole night and telling lies and be stealing. Always creating anxiety for people, causing anxiety for people. Krishna goes to people's house to steal. If you don't say anything, they say he will beat their children, the children will be crying, they will run away. That's the activity of God. That's how God should do. Which kind of God is that? Girls are betting, you go to carry their clothes and go and climb a tree. All of you come here, come and show me your body. Is that a civilized person? Can a civilized person do like that? Can a civilized person do that? Not even talking about God. That is too far. Can a civilized person, a moral person, behave like that? In the civilized country, in the river, the women will bathe one side, men will bathe the other side. Lord Chaitanya will go and carry the men's dress. When they have entered inside the water for bathing, Lord Chaitanya will go and carry the ladies' clothes and carry the men's clothes and mix all of them together. When they come out after bathing, when they come out of the water, where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? That is the activity of God. That goes like what God should do. You think that is God? You think that is God? Then everybody, they all embarrassed, men and women, they all embarrassed, coming together. Why they were separately betting? The Lord carried their clothes and mixed all of them together, heaped in one place. You have to come and search for your own. All together and get disturbed by seeing each other in that way. That is Lord Chaitanya doing like that. That is Krishna. He meant to the girls like that. All of them, they do all these mischievous things. How is that a godly activity? So Kunti Devi say, my Lord, the activity look exactly like that to a human being. Now he's going to go and fight somebody to carry a woman. This is what men do. Krishna is going to fight another person looking. Susupa wanted to marry Rukmini. Krishna has to go in there and kidnap Rukmini, and then they were fighting. That's good activity. There are so many girls looking for husband. You cannot go and marry one. They have to go and take the one that someone else is interested to get. That is like, it's not a human activity. This is how people behave here. Greedy person behave like that. So Krishna did. So why is that God? Fighting. King Nandajit. Nandajit said, anyone who wants to marry my daughter, you must defeat my bulls. You fight the bulls. Krishna, there are so many girls there. You cannot go and marry simple ones there. Is this one you have to come and fight with the bulls who can kill you? Those the bulls were demons. The Krishna has to go and fight just to get a wife. Just see. This is Krishna's activities. And he's very proud about it. Not only proud, his devotees have to come and write it down. Something that should be done in a secret, it is put in a book and it disputed the whole world. So now about a sinful activities of Krishna. It disrupted the whole world, the whole universe. Now you can buy the books to hear how Krishna is stealing and doing all kinds of things like this all over the world. And people are sitting down to hear about it. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? So it's like Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami said that the Lord's pastimes are inconceivably sweet. It's inconceivably sweet. You know, sweet? See how you're smiling. See, you're laughing. If somebody come and steal in the house, will you smile?
No.
Yes, yeah, you not smile. But see, you're smiling. You're hearing Christians' activities, are smiling. Why? Because these are transcendental activities. Then they look like common activity. Therefore, the Krishna said, Janma karma tamedi, bomb. Christians' activities are transcendental. Therefore, you will see a Nastika Brahmachari like Sukadeva Goswami speaking about it with all pleasure. And the Ramuni goes everywhere, the whole universe singing for this and teaching people these activities because it is not ordinary. It will look like our activity, but it's not our activities. That's the difference. That's the difference. In Kali Yuga, if you go to market, in Kali, especially in West Africa, any item we buy in the market, there is a counterfeit one and original one. Is it not? They look different. Do they look different? In shape, in the size? Do they look different in the shape or the size? The counterfeit and the good original thing, do they look different in terms of size?
No.
No.
They look the same, but the quality makes the difference. The quality is different. Similarly, the activities of Krishna may look like our activity. They will look similar. They will look like our activities, even worse than our activities, but they are transcendental. Therefore, anyone who hears them what simple heart to become purified. So become purified. That is the difference. That is the difference. They are not the same. In other words, they are all inconceivable to the limited thinking power of the human being. The Lord is the all-pervading super soul of all existence. And yet he appears in the form of a boa among the animals, in the form of a human being as Ram, Krishna, etc. In the form of a rishi like Narayan, and in the form of an aquatic like a fish. Yet it is said that he is unborn and he has nothing to do. In the Shruti mantra, it is said that a supreme Brahman has nothing to do. Na karyam karyati vidyati. No one is equal to or greater than him. He has manifold energy, and everything is performed by him perfectly by automatic knowledge, strength, and activity. All these statements prove without any question that the Lord's activities, forms, and deeds are all inconceivable to our limited thinking power. And because he is inconceivably powerful, everything is possible to him. Therefore, no one can calculate him exactly. Every action of the Lord is bewildering to the common man. He cannot be understood by the Vedic knowledge, but he can be easily understood by the pure devotee, because They are intimately related with him. The devotees therefore know that although he appears amongst the animals, he is not an animal, nor a man, nor a rishi, nor a fish. He is eternally the Supreme Lord in all circumstances. When Lord Buddha appeared, the size of a tomb, and in the presence of everyone, he started expanding his form. When the Lord shook his body in ecstasy, all the demigods came under to take shelter of the Abhishekam. And that place has formed a lake. In India, if you go to India, in South India, a lake is still there. Taking a dip in that water won't get purified. 31. Kunti Devi continued. My dear Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense. Krishna committed an offense. And he had perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from their eyes. And they were afraid. Krishna is afraid. Though fear personified is afraid of you, this sight is bewildering. Still more bewildering than the unborn taking by Kunti Devi state. It's how the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent Lord becomes a plaything in the hands of the devotees simply to increase their ecstasy. They just increase the ecstasy of the devotees. Generally, the Lord is worshipped by the devotees in a reverential attitude, but the Lord is meticulously pleased when the devotee, out of pure affection and love, consider the Lord to be less important than himself. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami described the devotional service is made feeble. Devotional service made feeble by reverential mood does not control me. Doesn't control me, Krishna said. What controls me is the chastisement which is coming from the pure loving heart of the gopis. That chastisement controls me completely. In fact, it blocked my ears from hearing the Vedas personified, chanting my glories with perfect meter. The Krishna enjoyed that. When one sees me as her helpless child under his protection or her protection, I become controlled by that love. Therefore, Mother Yashoda chastised Lord Krishna, you friend of the monkeys, now he has destroyed all the yogurt I'm begging for you. What are you going to eat now? Oh, restless one. Krishna said, oh, you called me a friend of monkey. Then I'll go to the monkeys to go and stay with them since I'm not, I'm a friend of monkeys. I'll go to the forest to stay with monkeys. And I said, oh, you want to go to the forest? They are better tie him up so he doesn't go anywhere. And location was crying to hear this from us. Kunti Devi said, this is really bewildering. As if it's not enough that you did all these things, appearing as animals, appearing as a human, appearing as whatever you are appearing. Still, you are afraid. A woman, They're afraid. Yamara is afraid. Matbaya, Mati, what the Yam should have tapati, Matbayat. Was it in the Agni, the Hati, Matbayat. Virtu charity, Matbayat. Here, Kapil Muni is saying that Jamaraj is afraid of Lord Krishna out of fear of Krishna's supremacy. He knows that if he misbehaves, Krishna is going to punish him. Yamaraj never get late 1 minute in his duty. Never. Even a moment. And Kunti Devi said, this I have heard from the scripture, and I'm seeing you here crying before your mother. This is bewildering to me, Lord Krishna. What is this? So the Prabhupada said in the purport, this picture of the Lord is adored by Kunti Devi because he is conscious of the Lord's supreme position. He is feared often by feared persons, yet he is afraid of who wanted to punish him just in an ordinary manner. Kunti was conscious of the exalted position of Krishna, whereas Yashoda was not. Therefore, Yashoda's position was more exalted than Kunti. That is the point. But Yashoda got the Lord as a child, and the Lord made her forget altogether that her child was the Lord himself. If Mother Yashoda had been conscious of the exalted position of the Lord, she would certainly have hesitated to punish them. But she was made to forget this situation because the Lord wanted to make the complete gesture of childishness before the affectionate mother, Yashoda. This exchange of love between the mother and the son was performed in a natural way, and Kunti, remembering the scene, was bewildered, and she could do nothing but praise the transcendental filial love. Indirectly, Mother Yashoda is praised for her unique position of love. For she will control even the all-powerful Lord as her beloved child. The supreme controller of everyone and everything is controlled by Mother Yashoda. Therefore, her position is exalted. Mother Yashoda is the expansion, internal potency of the Sri Krishna. Therefore, she has this power to control the supreme person. Kechidahu Adam Yakan Punya Sloka Shakti Taye Yadotiya Shanvaya Ye Malaya Sheva Chanda Malaya Sheva Chandanam. Very appropriate description. Some say that the unborn is born for the glorification of pious kings, and others say that he is born to please King Yadu, one of their dearest devotees. He appears in his family as sandalwood appears in the Malaya hills. Yes. Here, Kunti Devi is describing the mysterious birth and activities of Krishna, citing different thoughts. So she said, have you appeared in this world to tithe, to increase the fame of the Yadavas, the dynasty of devotees in which you took birth? Or as others say, did you descend in response to Vasudeva and Devaki's prayers for a son? Did you come to vanquish the burdened, the envious, or to diminish the demonic element present on this overburdened earth? Or did you appear in this world to enact wonderful pastimes that will offer relief to those suffering the pain of material life? Which one? Oh, Krishna. Which one? Which one have you come here for? And Krishna came for all, especially for devotees. Paritanaya sadhanam. Krishna came to give his audience to his devotees. Krishna came to confirm the statement of the devotees and the scriptures. That is a person full of activity. And those activities are transcendental and very purifying. Therefore, Krishna came to create opportunity for conditioned souls to get disentangled by engaging in Krishna conscious activities and eventually return home back to God. So Maharaj Nala was also celebrated as a great pious king, but he had no connection with the Lord. Therefore, Maharaj Yudhishthira is meant here to be glorified by Krishna. The Lord had already glorified King Yadu, having taken birth in his family. Although he is known as Yadava, Yaduvira, Yadunandan, etc., he is always independent of such negation. He's just like the sandalwood that grows in the Malaya hills. Trees can grow anywhere and everywhere, yet because the sandalwood trees grow mostly in the area of the Malaya hills, the name sandalwood and the Malaya hills are interrelated. Therefore, the conclusion is that the Lord is ever unborn, like the sun, and yet he appears as the sun rises on the eastern horizon. As the sun is never the sun of the eastern horizon, so the Lord is no one son, but he is the father of everything that be. I think Christian Perivasudeva Sha Devakyam Etchito Jagat Ajastam Asya Shemayan Bhadaya Chasura Visham Bhadasya Chasura Visham. But I say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken your birth as their son. Is that true? Undoubtedly, you are unborn. Yet you take your birth for their welfare and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. Shura Dvisham. Shura Dvisham. It is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki in their previous birth as Sutapa and Prithni underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son. And as a result of such austerities, the Lord appeared as their son. It is already declared that in the Bhagavad Gita, that the Lord appears for the welfare of all people of the world and to vanquish the asuras or the materialistic atheists. You are unborn, yet you came as the son of us. Issue previously in the form of Sutapa and Krishna, they asked the Lord to be their son. He appeared for protecting the world and killing the demons. 34. What I say that the world being overburdened like a boat at sea is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. Vishnu is therefore known as Padmanabha. Brahma is known as Atmabhu because he was begotten directly from the father without any contact with Lakshmiji. Lakshmiji was present near Narayan, engaged in the service of the Lord. And still, without contact with Lakshmi, Narayana begot Brahma. That is the omnipotency of the Lord. One who foolishly considered Narayana like other living beings should take a lesson from this. Narayana is not an ordinary living being. He is the supreme personality of Godhead himself, and he has all the potencies of all the senses in all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being beget a child by sexual intercourse, and he has no other means to beget a child other than the one designed for him. But Narayana, being omnipresent, omnipotent, is not bound to any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies very easily and perfectly. Such a problem arose when cancer and others were ruling over the earth, and the earth became too much of a burden by the misdeed of the Asuras. Ramaji, along with other demigods, prayed at the shore of Shirodaka Ocean, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva. So some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Moses. Whatever it be, for Krishna appeared out of his own sweet will, out of his own sweet will, not depending on anything and anyone. He descended out of his own sweet will. Out of his own sweet will, the Lord descended. The Lord came to enjoy himself and invite those who are very, very fortunate to join him and eventually return back to God. For that, the Lord came and he enacted varieties of unlimited pastimes, enjoying himself as much as possible. 85. And yet others say that you appear to rejuvenate a devotional series of hearing, remembering, worshiping, and so on, in order that the conditioned soul suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. In the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has said that he appears in every millennium just to re-establish the way of religion. A living being cannot help but to render service because he is constitutionally made for that purpose. The only function of the living being is to render service to the Lord. The Lord is great, and living beings are subordinate to him. Therefore, the duty of the living being is just to serve him only. Unfortunately, the illusion living beings, out of misunderstanding only, become servant to the senses by material desires. This desire is called avidya, or nations. And out of such desire, the living being makes different plans for material enjoyment centered about the perverted sex life. He therefore becomes entangled in the chain of birth and death by transmigrating into different bodies on different planets under the direction of the Supreme Lord. Unless therefore one is beyond the boundary of these nations, one cannot get free from the triple miseries of material life. That is the law of nature. The Lord, however, out of his costless mercy, because he is more merciful to the suffering living being than they can expect, appears before them and renovate the principles of devotional service comprise of hearing, chanting, remembering, serving, worshiping, praying, cooperating, and surrendering unto him. Adoption of all the above mentioned items, or any one of them, can help a conditioned soul get out of the tangle of nations and thus become liberated from all material sufferings created by the living being, illusioned by the external energy. This particular type of mercy is bestowed upon the living being by the Lord in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed opportunity for pure devotion. So this is the real reason for the Lord's appearance. This is the real reason for the Lord's appearance. The real reason for the Lord's appearance. You came to engage those suffering due to arising from material desire, which are due to ignorance, in actions of attaining prayer. The destruction of suffering is incidental because it is said in the next verse that the result of hearing about the Lord, seeing the Lord, by seeing the Lord, one attains prayer. So this is the reason why the Lord came. The Lord came to engage all suffering, all suffering conditions are due to our sinful activities in Christian consciousness. By this, by engagement in devotional service, the side effect is that all sinful deeds, all reactions are destroyed. They are temporary part. They are not the real part. The Lord came to give opportunity for conditioned soul to be engaged in devotional service. This is the main reason the Lord came. Out of the cosmic mercy of the Lord. Because the Lord is so merciful, so merciful. He appeared before us. Why? Just to get us renovated. I think a very, very, very beautiful word properly used here. Renovate. Renovation. What is very significant about this word? Renovate. What is so significant about this word? Renovate.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
It gives us the impression that something that existed, then you now renovate it or maintain it. So it has been in existence.
Thank you. What is that in existence? That is being renovated. Thank you. Yeah, correct. What is that? What is being renovated?
Our previous service or relationship with him.
Okay. Who else want to contribute? What is that? It is being renovated. Yeah. The first answer is very good. So my next question is, what is that which is being renovated? I need to renovate. Yes.
Our eternal constitutional relationship with him.
Yes. Yes, thank you. The soul is not being created. The soul is not the newly created. This one is just newly manufactured. Like we have so many products here. 2022 product is going to expire 5 years after this. The soul is not like that. Or it's so and so year. This product is manufactured so and so year. You're going to expire this or this model, the model, so year model. It's not the same with the soul. The soul is always there, but we have become covered over by illusory energy of Krishna. Therefore, there is a need for the renovation. So the word here is very, very important. Renovation. Renovation. Not that it is new, it's going to be created, it's going to be changed. It is there. Is covered, but it is always there and covered. If it is not there, it cannot be covered. So to discover is not something we should take a reward for. Thank you. Yes, renovate. And the process is that devotional service. The principle of devotional service, which begins from hearing, chanting, remembering, serving. Proper also hear another powerful word here. Worshipping, praying, he said, cooperating. It's very nice, very nice. Cooperating and surrendering unto him. Cooperating, cooperation. Cooperation is very, very important. We have to cooperate with him. This is our oneness with Krishna. Cooperating with Krishna means that we have become one with Krishna. Not merging, but cooperation. When we cooperate here with somebody who is more powerful than us, we cooperate with the person. We will get the strength of that person. And then we can easily defeat our own enemy. So cooperation is very, very important, necessary. All right. Who is speaking? Are you talking to me? All right. So we can take break now. I'll see you back 10 o'clock. Hare Krishna. Have a break. Have a break. Okay. Thank you.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Giridhari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Giridhari. Jai Ram Jai Kunja Bihari. Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana, Yasodhanandana Vraja Janaranjana, Yasodhanandana Bihari. Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Jai Govardhan Dhari, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jan Vallabha, Jai Giridhari. Jai Gopi Jan Vallabha, Jai Giridhari. Jai Rama Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Yasodhanandana Brajajanarandana, Yasodhanandana Brajajanarandana, Yasodhanandana Brajajanarandana, Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Kunja Bihari. Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Jai Govardhan Dhari, Jai Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Giridhari. Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jai Giridhari. Jai Ram Janarandana, Yasodanandana, Brajajanarandana, Yasodanandana, Brajajanarandana, Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jai Kunja Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar, Murli Manohar Karuna Sagar. Jai Govardhan Dhari, Jai Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jai Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Text 36. Now, those who continuously hear, chant, and repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasure in others doing so, certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop the repetition of that. This verse shows the actual reason for the Lord's appearance.
Okay, tu veux dire un petit peu, je vois tout devant nous. Donc, nous sommes tous.
This verse shows the actual reason for the Lord's appearance. They are not others, see for certain. It is not that they do not see. They see without delay, not after a long time, their lotus feet. Not the lotus feet of one of their statues. Those lotus feet destroy the influence of material existence rather than prolong material existence. Their form is not without quality. In order to appreciate the beauty of the Lord, His 6 aspects need to be seen. Therefore, the Lord appeared with His complete form. Yes. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna cannot be seen by our present conditional vision. In order to see Him, one has to change our present vision by developing a different condition of life, full of spontaneous love of God. When Sri Krishna was personally present on the face of the globe, not everyone could see Him as the Supreme Personality of God. Many people saw Krishna. Ravana saw Ramachandra. Kamsa was seeing Krishna. Shishupal, Jarasandha. Many other demons, they saw Krishna. Materialists like Ravana, Yenakasipu, Kamsa, Jarasandha, and Shishupal were highly qualified personalities by appreciation of material assets, but they were able to appreciate the presence of the Lord. The Supreme Lord is beyond all material qualification, including all the good qualities recommended in the scripture. All of them. In Chaitanya Bhagavad, you will hear of Devotional Pandit. Devotional Pandit from birth. He has no material desires, completely zero. Devotional Pandit. Zero material desires, right from birth. And right from birth till the entire life he lived, he constantly made himself into recitation of Bhagavad. He teaches Bhagavad, he recites Bhagavad, he teaches Bhagavad, he lived completely Bhagavad. Huh? What to say of a person like that? Right from childhood, he has no material desires. He never indulges in anything. He lived a very, very wonderful life. And people appreciated him very much for his wonderful qualities. Although he has all these wonderful qualities, teaching Bhagavatam, no material desires. He never speak anything outside Bhagavatam. Every word from him is centered within the scripture. He never speak anything outside the scripture. Such a holy life he lived. But he did not appreciate Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord was living very close to him. They were seeing the Lord face to face. He was seeing the Lord face to face. He had no attraction. What he's teaching Bhagavatam, which is the activity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he does appreciate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in person. So what was the use of all those wonderful, noble qualities? So the Bhakti Thakur said, one may have all these wonderful qualities, if one does not become a devotee of Krishna, I consider that to be useless. So we saw this with the Devotional Pandit. And Prabhupada gave many examples here. Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Jarasandha, Sisupal, and many others. They were materially qualified. They were great personalities, powerful material assets. But they are all demons. All of them are demons. Devotional Pandit has all these wonderful qualities, but he had no attraction for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, he never even greeted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although he sees him every day. And to make the situation worse, one day Srivas Pandit visited him to hear Bhagavatam, and as he was reciting the Bhagavatam, because Bhagavatam, every word is full of prema. Every single word in Bhagavatam is full of prema. Senvanti, Gayanti, Grindanti, Abhikshanaha, Abhikshnashaha, Smoranti, Nandanti, Tavehitam Janaha. Taeva Pashanti Achirena Tavakam, Baba Prabhahu, Paramam Padam Buja. Every single word is full of prema. So Srivas Pandit was hearing Bhagavatam and he fell into ecstasy. The student of Devanand Pandit look at each other and say, this fellow cannot allow us to hear anything. We can't hear anything because of this fellow here. So they decided and dragged Srivas Pandit outside. Devanand Pandit did not say anything. Vrindavan Das Thakur said, the neophyte disciple, like their neophyte guru, there's no difference between them, because are the same. So they were not point, they couldn't see that an exalted personality came to hear Bhagavatam from him, and he fell unconscious. Because he didn't see that he couldn't stop his disciple from taking the offense. When Srivas Thakur came back to external consciousness, he left, feeling not happy. Although he didn't complain to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knew what happened as omniscient. So he chastised him severely for that. Until Devanand Pandit had the fortune of associating and rendering service to Sarvakeshwara Pandit. Then he became qualified to appreciate the Supreme. This necessary qualification is developed by the process of devotional service only, beginning with hearing about the Lord from the right source. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the popular literatures which are generally heard, chanted, repeated, etc., by the people in general. But in spite of such hearing, etc., sometimes it is experienced that a performer of such devotional service does not see the Lord eye to eye. The reason is that the first item, Savana, is very important. If hearing is from the right sources, it acts very quickly. Generally, people hear from unauthorized persons. Such unauthorized persons may be very learned by academic qualifications, but because they do not follow the principles of devotional service, hearing from them becomes a sheer waste of time. Therefore, first, one should select a competent and bona fide speaker, and then hear from him. When the hearing process is perfect and complete, the other processes become automatically perfect in their own way. That is. What can we speak? What can we chant if we don't hear? So hearing is a very, very, very important thing, because the quality of what we hear, they will reflect the quality of our chanting, the quality of our speaking, the quality of remembrance, and everything else. So the 8 principles depend, the 8 processes of devotional service depends solely and wholly on the first one, hearing. Only one who has heard perfectly, properly, that will repeat perfectly, that will chant properly, perfectly. It depends on the quality of hearing. So we have to hear from the right source. Yeah, we should hear. We should hear, but we should hear from the right source. What is the right source? What do you mean by a right source? What do you mean right source? Papa use this word many times, right source. We hear from the right source. What is the meaning of that? What does it mean, right source? So hear from the right source. Papa said, many places. What is the meaning? Yes, Jyoti Sharp.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hearing from the right source means who has heard already attentively, and that is the right source.
Who has heard attentively. That is right source. Okay. One who have heard attentively. We are okay, Saki Brenda, hearing from bona fide people. Hear from bona fide. And who is bona fide guru? Very good. Who is bona fide? What is your qualification? Bona fide guru. Bona fide. What is the qualification of bona fide guru? Which is the right source that we should hear from? How do you know? What is the quality? Some quality. What are the qualities? One who is presenting the city.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, the qualification is the person must have the person must have served and heard from somebody in the from somebody from the disabled association. Attentive hearing and serving the feet of somebody from the disabled association. Param.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you. One who is repeating exactly what he has had from previous acharya. He's not concocting. He's speaking according to what he has heard in the scripture, repeating that. And yes, he has perfectly heard from the bona fide acharya, Parampara. He has perfectly heard and realized that Shrutriyam Brahmanishta. He has heard perfectly and have realized it. So he's presenting that. So hear from that person. Do we have professional reciters in this corner also? Is it possible? Is it possible that you can have professional reciters? Duties for bona fide must be situated. Do we have professional reciters in this? Can we have also? Is it possible?
It's not possible, Maharaj.
Oh, okay.
It's not possible.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, we have many, but not. Okay, Sakib, you have many. Thank you. There are many professional reciters in this course. There are many. There are many professional reciters. If you are reciting scripture for money, what is that? Many people travel everywhere reciting scripture and look for money. You have to pay to hear. You have to pay fee to hear. That's a professional recitation, not bona fide. So we should be careful. Yeah. institute like on BIH or MI or this West African team, you pay a fee for what they are paying is for managerial processes. It's not a fee. It's for management. You get some for documentation and something. So for maintaining for the institute. That is different. But there are many professional reciters who are teaching for many. So such a people don't have potency to reveal Krishna. So we should be careful. Should be careful. Not to hear from anyone else. To hear from bona fide. Yes. There are different transcendental activities of the Lord, and each and every one of them is competent to bestow the desired result, provided the hearing process is perfect. Yes. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference in the transcendental nature of each and every dealing of the Lord. One must hear about the Lord from the very beginning, as in the Srimad Bhagavatam or any other scriptures. And that will help the hearer attain perfection by progressive development. One should not, therefore, consider that his dealings with the Pandavas are less important than his dealings with the gopis. We must always remember that the Lord is always transcendental to all mundane attachments. In all the above mentioned dealings of the Lord, he is the hero in all circumstances, and hearing about him or about his devotees or combatant is conducive to spiritual life. It is said that the Vedas and the Puranas, etc., are all made to revive our Lord's relation with him. Hearing of all these scriptures is essential. 37. Oh my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today? Although we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us? Now, when all kings are at enmity with us, so you are leaving? You are leaving us? Who does not have anyone else to depend upon? You are leaving us? So, this is very, very, very important verse. Very, very important. From the affection of Kunti Devi's heart to come further, word of attachment and dependence. Two words. Attachment and dependence. Superficially, my dear Krishna, the Pandavas now possess everything. We rule the entire kingdom, but without the imprint of your lotus footprint decorating our kingdom. This kingdom has as much value as a dead body, a body after the soul departure. Our kingdom flourishes only due to your continued merciful glances. So this is the pain Kunti Devi had. A proper nation glorifies valiant action combined with dependence on Krishna. Yes. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work hard under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on him. We should do what? We should work hard and also at the same time depend upon him completely. So here probably is glorifying valiant action combined with dependence on Krishna. This is very two important thing that we should remember. Taken to Krishna consciousness of being a devotee doesn't mean laziness, doesn't mean inactivity. It means full activity. But at the same time, we depend on the Lord. Depending on the Lord doesn't mean we should not act. Or action does not mean we should not depend on the Lord. We should act and depend on the Lord. Meaning what? What does that mean? We should work very hard at the same time we should depend on the Lord. A devotee does his or her duty perfectly well with all the base of the strength. At the same time, a devotee knows if Krishna would like, he can accept this as a friend. And if you don't like, it is also okay. I'm satisfied with it. So we don't think that I am the doer, I am the and the perfect one who knows everything, who can do it. Everything depends on my strength. No, a devotee doesn't have this. So Prabhupada made a distinction. The perfection of life is therefore to become dependent on the will of the Lord instead of becoming falsely independent in the material world. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called anata, or without any guardian. Whereas those who are completely dependent on the will of the Lord are called sanata, for those having someone to protect them. Therefore, we must try to be sanata, so that we can always be protected from the unfavorable condition of material existence. That is the sign of the Mahatma. That is the sign of the Mahatma. All the members of the Pandava family are Mahatmas in household life. Maharaj Yudhishthira was the head of these Mahatmas, and Queen Kunti was the mother. The lessons of the Bhagavad Gita and all the Puranas, specifically the Bhagavad Purana, are therefore inevitably connected with the history of the Pandava Mahatmas. For them, separation from the Lord was just like the separation of a fish from water. Srimati Kunti Devi therefore felt such separation like a thunderbolt, and the whole prayer of the Kunti is to try to persuade the Lord to stay with them. After the battle of Kurukshetra, although the inimical kings were killed, their sons and grandsons were still there to deal with the Pandavas. It is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of enmity, but all of us are always in such a condition. And the best way of living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord, and thereby overcome all difficulties of material existence. Material existence. Kunti Devi, we completely depend on you, and you are leaving us today. You are leaving us. Occasionally I say, yeah, but I have stayed here for such a long time. Therefore, I want to go to Dhira. I have necessary work there. Please give your consent. Give me your permission to go. So to this, Kunti Devi said, but you are the person whose necessary works are already accomplished. Your intentions fulfill themselves automatically. Or self-accomplisher. The Pandavas had created suffering for many kings by killing their fathers' relatives who depend on you. Therefore, stay here and protect my sons. This is Kunti Devi's request. 88. As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit. Similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. O Gadadhara Krishna, our kingdom is now being marked by the impressions of their feet. And therefore it appears beautiful. But when you leave, it will no longer be so. It cannot be the same again. Things will change. All these cities and villages are flourishing in all respect because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruit. The rivers are flowing. The hills are full of minerals. And the ocean is full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. So what will happen when you're not there, when you're not here? The end is very close. The end is very close. This is very, very important. This will also help us to see what is happening today, or what we are actually missing. When the scripture speaks, we don't seem to understand sometimes. But it's very important for us to see what is really happening. What is really happening. Human prosperity flourishes by natural gifts and not by gigantic industrial enterprises. The more we go on increasing such troublesome industries to squeeze out the vital energy of the human being, the more there will be unrest and dissatisfaction for the people in general. Although a few only can live lavishly by exploitation, the natural gifts such as grains and vegetables, fruits, rivers, the hills of jewels and minerals, and the sea is full of pearls, are supplied by the order of the Supreme, and as he desires. Material nature produces them in abundance, or restrict them at times. One does not need to suffer the way we are suffering, because nature provides everything. Nature provides, supplies everything. So we are not necessarily suffering because we have deviated. The more we attempt to exploit material nature according to our whims of enjoyment, the more we shall become entrapped by the reaction of such exploitative attempts. If we have sufficient grains, fruit, vegetables, and herbs, then what is the necessity of running a slaughterhouse and killing poor animals? A man need not kill an animal if he has sufficient grains and vegetables to eat. The flow of river waters fertilizes the fields, and there is more than what we need. Minerals are produced in the hills and the jewels in the ocean. If the human civilization has sufficient grains, minerals, jewels, water, milk, etc., then why should it hanker after terrible industrial enterprises at the cost of the labor of some unfortunate men? But all these natural gifts are dependent on the mercy of the Lord. What we need, therefore, is to be obedient to the laws of the Lord and achieve the perfection of human life by devotional service. The indications by Kunti Devi are just to the point. She desired that God's mercy be bestowed upon them so that natural prosperity be maintained by his grace. This one, very, very sweet. Ata Vishwa Vishwadman Vishwa Murute Swakeshune Shineha Pashan Imam Chindi Dridam Pandusu Brishnishu. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality or the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. This is very, very interesting. So what is Kunti Devi saying here? What is Kunti Devi saying? All of the universe, soul of the universe, or personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas, and the Vrishnis. Are Vrishnis and the Pandavas not devotees? Are they not devotees?
They are devotees.
And the country, they will say, cut off my relationship with them. So what he's saying, I don't need the association of devotees. How is that? Exalted personality like Kunti Devi, she has been described before as Sati, one who depends fully on Krishna and nobody else. And now she's asking for Krishna to remove her from the family of devotees. How do you understand this? Yes, please tell me. How do we understand this? Kunti Devi already said Lord Krishna is bewildering her and making things very, very complicated by so many things that he did. So, and he herself is also following Krishna's footsteps by bewildering of this kind of statement. What is he saying? Cut off my tie, cut off my tie of affection, cut off my love for the devotees. Remove me from the devotees. Huh? Is that a good prayer? Really, what kind of teaching is this? We should not have association with devotees. Did you hear my question?
Prabhu, there is so much noise behind you. Do you want to say something? Or I muted you.
He's asking a question. I wanted to answer.
Yes, you can answer now. You're not speaking again? Anyone else can answer me? Maybe he's preparing himself. Can answer my question. I want to know. Kunti Devi is teaching.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. I said that I think Kunti Devi is praying to Lord Krishna to remove her bodily attachment. Not that she does not want to associate with devotees, but she's in the family. So she's just praying for the bodily attachment to be removed.
Okay, thank you very much. Bodily attachment. Control my bodily attachment. Okay, thank you. Very good. What else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
For my kinsmen and Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Family ties, they are very, very strong. And sometimes there are always impediments to attachments to Krishna.
But we're looking at the Pandavas.
There is family, there is sons. They are part of his family members. See them as family members, family ties.
If all your children are devotees, they are assisting you, have kirtan together, they have a class in a room together. Krishna remove me from this devotee family.
The material attachments, having to take responsibility of them.
Material attachment here, devotees. I want to see what is the material attachment here. I want to see.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Actually, Kunti is a pure devotee of the Lord, yes. But for the purpose of the mission of the Lord, sometimes the pure devotees act as if though they are in the bodily consciousness. As like an ordinary person, she's praying as if she's an ordinary person, even though she's a pure devotee, no, but she's praying in the mood of an ordinary person for the purpose of fulfilling the Lord's mission for those conditioned souls that has been mentioned earlier, who the Lord wants to deliver.
Okay, that's logical. logical that she's not praying for herself. She's teaching us example for conditions. Okay. Okay. She's teaching us that we should not have attachment for family members, like Mother Bank said. The tie of family relationship is very, very strong. Today Mahaprabhu will say the same thing. It's very strong to cut off. So Kunti Devi is saying, not necessarily for the Pandavas, the Vrishnis, right? That's what they're saying. Not necessary for them. Okay, thank you.
Lord Rishabhadev said that Ato Griya Kshetra Sutapta Vitae. Ata Griya Kshetra Suta Apta Vitae. Janasya Moho Yam Aham Amiti.
Yes. That is devotees. That's for devotee. Will a body not Takura pray to Krishna, remove you from Srapatizana Saraswati? Will he pray like that? The Sutta. But you're not Takura was.
Maharaj, it's not for devotees, but actually, ultimately, it is individual. Going back to God is ultimately individual. So even the family members, that attachment, if one can surrender that attachment to Krishna, then individually we are going to go. So in the ultimate end, it is individual. That's what I was saying.
Even if you remember your own Chaitanya Prema, at the time of day, if you remember Chaitanya Prema, you go to Godhead. Prabhupada said like that. So your children that devotee, Chaitanya Prema, Govinda, whatever, all of them, Kunti Devi, Devki, Yashoda, and all of them like this, all of them are unalloyed devotees. And you don't want association with them. That's what they're teaching me.
I remember somewhere in the Gita also that even that we have to give up because there is the possibility of accident even on the express road. So those regulations within household lives, they are there, but there are regulations just to keep you on track for as long as you will still have some attachment. Ultimately, it is individual. You have to even rise above those regulations within the Manasra.
What was the security of Ajamila? 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 What was the security?
The security of who?
Ajamila.
His son.
Ajamila, what was his security?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. His son.
Yes, his son. He's not somebody, it was his son. Not even a devotee. Not even a devotee. But we are talking of devotees. He was saved from someone not a devotee, but because he had the name of the Lord. So what about the devotees? You understand my question? Yes, this is what they mean by study. This is study. How to crack the brain. This is Smaranam. This is Vishnu Smaranam, Krishna Smaranam. This is Smaranam. You understand? This is Smaranam. Sila. Srila Jiva Goswami in his British Sandarbha, Anucheta 115. Srila Jiva Goswami. So let's hear from what he said from Jiva Goswami. Queen Kunti thinks, if Lord Krishna depart from Hastinapur, that will be inauspicious for the Pandavas. And if he does not depart from Hastinapur and return to Dwarka, that will be inauspicious for the Vrishnis. Her heart was agitated by competing affections for these two sides of her family. Queen Kunti herein prays that the affections she bears for her kinsmen be destroyed. The truth is that when she sees how the two sides of her family dearly loved Lord Krishna, her own love for Lord Krishna increases. She's a devotee. She's a devotee. The truth is that when Kunti Devi sees how the two sides of her family, the Vrishna and the Pandava, dearly loved Krishna, her own love for Lord Krishna increases. Therefore, on the pretext of saying, are you hearing me?
Yes, we are
Yes,
hearing
Maharaj.
it.
Therefore, on the pretext of saying, please destroy my affection for my kinsmen. Actually, Kunti Devi is saying, please do not leave the association of either of the two sides of my family. Don't leave both sides. We should not leave both sides. Stay with us eternally. Lord Krishna, stay with his devotees. This is Kunti Devi saying, Lord Krishna, stay with us. And Prabhupada said in the purport, Kunti Devi wanted to serve the Lord without diversion. And that was her prayer. This unalloyed devotion is the ultimate goal of life. Srimati Kunti Devi wanted that affection and prayed for it from the Lord. Is it clear? Her affection for the Pandavas and the Vrishni is not out of the range of devotional service because the service of the Lord and the service of the devotees are identical. Are not separated. Did you get the message? All right. Yes. That is it. Oh, 41. Okay. 42 rather. Yes, 42. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn onto you without being diverted to anyone else. Yes, this one. Perfection of pure devotional service attained when all attention is diverted towards the transcendental loving service of the Lord. To cut off the tie of all other affection does not mean complete negation of the final element, like affection for someone else. This is not possible. A living being, however, whoever he may be, must have this feeling of affection for others, because this is a symptom of life. Affection for the Pandavas and the Vrishnis is not out of the range of devotional service. This is because the service of the Lord and the service of the devotees are identical. Sometimes service to the devotee is more valuable than service to the Lord. But here the affection of Kunti Devi for the Pandavas and the brishness was due to family relation. This type of affection in terms of material relation is the reason of Maya. Is the relation of Maya because the relations of the body or the mind are due to the influence of the external energy. The relations of the soul established in relation with the Supreme Soul are called relations, are factual relations. When Kunti Devi wanted to cut off the family relations, she meant to cut off the relation of the skin. The skin relation is the cause of material bondage. But the relation of the soul is the cause of freedom. The relation of the soul to the soul can be established by the via medium of the relation with the super soul. Seeing in the darkness is not seeing, but seeing by the light of the sun means to see the sun and everything else which was unseen in the darkness. That is the way of devotional service. Okay, 43. O Krishna, O friend of Arjuna, O chief amongst the descendants of Vishnu, you are the destroyer of those political parties which are disturbing elements on this earth. Your prowess never deteriorate. You are the proprietor of the transcendental abode, and you descend to relieve the distresses of the cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees. You possess all mystic powers, and you are the protector of the entire universe. You are the Almighty God, and I offer you my respectful obeisances. A summary of this Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is made herein by Srimati Kunti Devi. The Almighty Lord has his eternal transcendental abode, where he is engaged in keeping Surati cows. He is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. He descends on the material world to reclaim his devotees and annihilate the disturbing elements in groups of political parties and kings who are supposed to be in charge of administration work. He creates, maintains, and annihilates by his own limited energies. And still he is always full with prowess and does not deteriorate in potency. The cows, the brahmanas, and the devotees of the Lord are all object of his special attention because they are very important factors for the general welfare of living beings. Sutta Uvacha Pritayedam Kalata Daini Karinu Takilo Daya Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntu Mohayam Eva Mayaya. Shuddha Goswami said, the Lord was hearing the prayers of Kunti Devi, composed in choice words for his glorification, mildly smiled. That smile was as enchanting as his mystic power. That smile is as enchanting as his mystic power. But Krishna's smile is very mysterious, very, very powerful. Krishna's smile. All his devotees worship him in that way by choosing words. And therefore the Lord is known as Puttanaswara. No amount of choosing word is sufficient to enumerate the Lord's glory. And yet he is satisfied by such prayers as the Father is satisfied, even by the broken linguistic attempt of the growing child. The word Maya is used both in the sense of delusion and mercy. Herein the word Maya is used in the sense of the Lord's mercy upon Kunti Devi. When Christians smile, you know what it means. One can become bewildered like that. When Christians smile, it has so many things in it. Those accepting the prayers of Srimati Kunti Devi, the Lord subsequently informed other ladies of his departure by entering the palace of Hastinapur. But upon preparing to leave, he was stopped by King Yudhishthira, who employed him lovingly. King Yudhishthira, who was much aggrieved, could not be convinced despite instruction by great sages headed by Yasis and the Lord himself, the Lord Krishna himself, the performer of superhuman feats. And despite all historical evidence, Lord Krishna is described here as one who performs superhuman activities. So why he did not convince Yudhishthira Maharaj? If Lord Krishna is the one who performs superhuman activity, why he didn't do that to convince Yudhishthira Maharaj? That's my question. Lord Krishna is one who performs superhuman activities. So if he's such a person, why he could not do that here? He couldn't convince Yudhishthira Maharaj? Or is it that he is the one who does that sometimes and sometimes he doesn't do that? He doesn't have the power? What's the reason for that? Did you hear my question? Did you hear my question? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj, we heard.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, Saki said he wanted to give the credit to his devotee. Very good. Which devotee is that? Thank you. Which devotee? Which devotee?
Bhishmadev.
Yes, thank you. Lord Krishna wanted to glorify Bhishmadev. The Lord wanted that at the last stage of his material existence, the great warrior Bhishmadev see him personally and see his beloved grandchildren, King Yudhishthira, etc., now situated on the throne and thus pass away very peacefully. Bhishmadev was not at all satisfied to fight against the Pandavas, who were his beloved fatherless grandchildren. But the Kshatriyas are also very stern people, and therefore he was obliged to take the side of Dhira because he was maintained at the expense of Dhira. Besides this, the Lord also desired that King Yudhishthira be pacified by the word of Bhishmadev, so that the world will see that Bhishmadev excelled all in knowledge, including himself. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj ki jai.
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 Oh, the Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
So do we unmute and chant one powerful mantra? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Maharaj. Glory to you.
Thank you very much.
Stop.
Is it not beautiful that we are seeing all of you? Is it not beautiful that we are seeing Chitraketu's face? Is it not beautiful that we are seeing Kamala's face? Is it not beautiful that we are seeing Rasavan's face, Salika's face, Jyoti Swaru's face? So let us give darshan to each other so that we can help each other to move ahead. Okay? Please, when we attend, we should learn and we should try to honor our videos. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
जय कुंज बिहारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ जय गिरिवरधारी जय राम जय कुंज बिहारी
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for being here. Till next weekend. Hare Krishna.